To Ginger's Love Live tonight. On this Monday night, we are talking about the power of acceptance, understanding control, and letting go. It's tonight's topic on Ginger's Love. My name is Siobhan, aka Ginger. I am a master life coach, Ginger's Love, and tonight we're going to dive deep into the power of acceptance. The message here is really about peace. That's the importance of the power of acceptance, is being able to find a balance and having peace. Peace with what we are able to control versus what we're not able to control. Also, for the November birthdays, my nephew's birthday is tonight. I want to give a shout out to Jamarius. Happy birthday, nephew. Wish you many, many more. And everyone birthday in November, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Had quite a few people, family. First, my mama Renita, Reese's mom, her birthday was earlier this month. My Aunt Tammy birthday. Let's see, my sister birthday, her birthday just passed. My cousin Barbara birthday. I'm thinking about my family birthdays in November. So again, happy birthday. Okay, so it is 7:03. Still give people a couple of more minutes to jump on. Hi, cousin Quita. Okay, acceptance. I'm going to go ahead and jump on. Hello, cousin Johnny. So talking about power of acceptance, and we're going to get into the what true acceptance is. What does acceptance mean to you? Like, what does it mean? Let's just get, hey everyone. Chris and Sissy, hello. So accepting really just not giving up. Not giving up and knowing when to release control and when to take action. Take control of what you're able to take control of. So I'm going to open up and talk about something that I had to learn to let go. And one of them, just a backstory on mine, is love. So I had to learn how to let go of the outcome of what a relationship would be. No matter what I wanted, how much effort I put in, I could not control the outcome of the situation. So that was a very hard lesson, a very, very large lesson, but it was also a journey. It was a journey on to where I'm at now. So yes, accepting, learning to accept the things and understanding just what control that you do have. Because at the time, I did not understand anything about regulating my emotions, understanding that I wasn't in control of any other person's how they responded to me, whether they received my love or didn't. I just had no control of it. And for a long time, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with myself. So it was a long journey of just getting into knowing who I am, self-discovery. And that is what my coaching is all about, is helping you on your journey to discovery, to be in alignment with your true self. And so I want someone to share with me something that you have struggled with in accepting. And it's something that you can only control. And I was talking to my nephew this morning, which is funny, because I tell him every time I go on live, I get a little nervous still, no matter how many times I've been on live, how many times that I have trained in front of many people, I still get nervous. I don't know what it's about, but I do, because it just, I don't know. I guess it's just a natural human reaction that I cannot control. So there you have it. It's something you can't control, but it's something that you work through. You work through it, and until you get on a good foot. So we may think we have control over things, and we actually do not. So I want to talk about some of the things that we can control, just to get an idea and understanding, because about tonight is understanding what are the things that we can control. What can we control and what can't we control? one of the things that we can control is how we react to things. Actions and our choices are in our control. So once we made a choice, or once we have reacted in a way from the choices that we make, because sometimes we're not always happy about the choices that we make. And when the outcomes don't turn out the way we want to, we may get upset, and how we express ourselves may not be in the best way. So if we make a choice that is in complete control, how the outcome we can't control. We can't control the results, but we can control how we react to it. What is not in our control, again, is other people's actions, how other people behave. If they don't act the way we want them to act, it's not something we can control. So we just do not want to get into that. Well, actually, I ain't gonna even say we don't want to get into it, but we get into that. That is something that we face. That's something that I have faced, is getting in that situation and expressing myself about things I cannot control. And when I look around, I just end up just spinning my wheels, dressing the same thing over and over and over again. So that is when it comes to a place that you have to let it go. You have to make a decision. Now, you don't have to let it go, but you have to make a decision about how you want to continue going forward. After you realize, okay, this is something I cannot control, and what is happening to me? You have to ask yourself, what is happening to me in this situation? If you are getting upset, if you're feeling stuck, if you're frustrated, or if, it's just like an impossible situation and you feel defeated in the situation, now it's it's something for you to reflect on and make a decision, put in perspective what it is that I need to do to let go, or to move. Let go and moving on is two different things. So one thing is to let go, and the next thing is to move on. So once you're able to accept and understand what it is that you can control, then you can start to make decisions and take actions on how you want to move going forward. So it's a saying that we all may be familiar with, is you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. So you all that is watching, I would like you to chime in and tell me something that you have been going through, or that you have experienced and you had to learn to let go of. And how were you able to do that? Was it hard? Was it easy? Sometimes people don't have that struggle, but a lot of times people do. Versus, we try, and there's nothing wrong with trying. I would never advise someone to give up on something that they care about, that means something to them, or that they value. But it's one thing to, put forth the effort and try, but it's another thing to try to change something that you have no control over. So once you get in that place of feeling, frustrated, or feeling like, there's no way out, let's take charge. So we are letting go and taking charge. That is the end goal, is peace. And so it's not about, again, giving up. It's about taking control of what you want, finding the balance. And so the next point that I'm going to talk about is the freedom that you experience when you are able to let go. If you come across a situation where you have to make that decision, you at a crossroads, and you have to make a decision about what it is, how you want to move forward for your well-being. Because when it comes about control and acceptance and things of that nature, this is for your benefit, for your peace, and what decisions you need to make in order for you to have that control of your space, your peace, your mind, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Because a lot of the times those emotions is what are the things that cause the issues in trying to resolve a situation. So that's what we talked about in my last live, is effective communication. So anytime that you do have to cross paths in a situation with someone, in a relationship, which is leading into the next, that's going to be the next point, is acceptance in relationships. So when you are in a relationship, let's get into that. Healthy relationships. Healthy relationships. When we are able to get into what we can control and release what we can't, and taking accountability for those that's involved. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone has a role to play in the situation. No one can resolve the other situation because we all have a role. And we definitely clash, no matter what relation. It could be family relationships, because that's what makes the world go round. It's relationships, whether it is a friendship, family, romantic relationship, or whatever the case may be. When it's more than you that is involved, then we have a relationship going on. And we are not the same. That's another fact that came up into the conversation in my previous live, is that we are not the same. So understanding that and the differences, now we have to hear each other out. Hear each other out. And just because you have expressed what you said, I have expressed what I said, don't mean that we will be in agreements. But we also have to give their respect and understand. And if it comes to something that we can't move past, then again, now we're back at the letting go. Now it's time for us to decide which way we're going. Are we going to try to respect one another, talk things out, get on the same page, and then be able to let go and move on? Because sometimes it don't mean like just go away, but it just means let go and let's move on and make progress, because that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to move on and make progress. What is something that you have struggled with? If it's something that you have identified in your own self, because again, we can only control ourselves. And much as we would like to, I would love it if I could change how someone felt, especially if they have bad feelings. If I could have changed how someone act, I would do it in a heartbeat, especially if it's for the sake of peace. I would, but I can't. I would do everything I can to try to influence it. Now, it's one thing to influence it, and it's one thing to try to have control. But to influence it is being able to effectively communicate. So there's respect on both ends, or multiple ends, depending on who's all involved. And maybe if, when we are navigating through the relationships, acceptance, understanding, control, knowing when to let go, when you're in the process of going through those, then you want to try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Now, we learn this at work when we're working customer service or anything like that. You have to be able to show sympathy or have empathy for someone, because it's not always about you. When you want to be fair, and if you want someone to hear you out, it goes back to treat others how you want to be treated. So if you're having a conversation with someone, you have to really try to open up and hear them and be able to actively listen to them and have a good dialogue where you are showing patience and you are showing empathy for someone, especially if you care about them. If you care about someone, you care about yourself, because then again, this is self-love. You care about yourself. So the most important thing in that is getting those emotions in check so you can be effective in your communication, in your problem solving, or whatever it calls for to resolve an issue and get to a point of acceptance. Because again, the acceptance is about bringing peace, about something you cannot control, and you can only control yourself. So what do you need to bring peace to yourself, or bring peace to a situation? So that's what the focus is on, It's not, we don't want to be selfish. We don't want to be selfish, but we do want to focus on what's important. And there's mutual respect and understanding. So we always want to do that, and not always trust in yourself, your true self, and who you are and what you want to represent. So far on the topic, we have talked about letting go versus taking charge, when to let go and when to take charge of the situation. And that's when it's all on you. And then knowing how to move respectfully. So understanding that. And then also when you are in a relationship or friendship or any type of relationship, whether it's with your family, your mate, or friends, colleagues, or what are the names when we don't want to call them friends, acquaintance, anyone that you have to have a conversation with when it comes down to mutual respect and understanding, just so we can reach a common goal. Now, there may be an issue. Sometimes we may not have the same common goals. So we want to make sure that we have the same goals so we can work towards that. So those 2 points that I have touched base on. Anybody want to jump in? The previous questions that I asked was, is there anything, this is a reflection question, is there anything that you have had to deal with that you don't mind sharing, that it was hard for you to let go? Or just in the letting go and understanding what it is you can control, because we're trying to release the stress. We're trying to release the negative feelings, the frustration. So what can we do to move past that in your control? I've had 3 points tonight I want to touch base with. And the final one is the acceptance. It's the freedom that accepting something that you can't control, how it releases burdens off of you. I think it could be misunderstood as like you giving up, and you don't want to give up on something that you have invested a lot of time in, a lot of energy, a lot of love, and you don't want to let that go. But in that freedom, it's not so much about you giving up. It's just the weight lifting off your shoulder, the burden being lifted off your shoulder, and just freeing yourself from that feeling of heaviness or that sadness that weigh on your heart and on your mind. It can be very detrimental to your emotional well-being. So we don't want that. We want to take care of our mind, body, and soul. So what are some things that we could do? I have to do, just really get a hold on why I'm feeling how I'm feeling, why I'm hurting like I'm hurting, why I'm upset like I'm upset. What's another strong feeling? The irritation, why I'm annoyed, all those negative feelings that make you question the goodness of who you are, the goodness that you put out, because you be so vexed in your spirit sometimes. So you ask yourself those questions. And a lot of the times for me, it was because I could not control the situation. I had no control. And so I was like back up against the wall and not being able to handle the heaviness of that. So in that case, and once you get to reflecting and knowing that it's not anything that you could see doing, it's nothing being communicated that is really in your control, that's when, again, you have to be able to accept it and let go. And it is so liberating. It is very liberating. So in the finding that freedom is just being able to recognize what it is that you are battling. If you are in denial, sometimes we can be in denial about situations, that we have to come to the reality of it. And even though how hurtful it can be very hurtful, you still have to accept that. You have to accept the hurt. because you can't control it. Again, that's one thing that we touch base on that we cannot control is feelings, and even yours. The only way you can control your feelings if you change your mindset. If you change your mindset and whatever that triggers that negative emotion, then you have that control. But the initial thing, the initial feeling that you may feel, you don't have control over it. It's just something for you to regulate. You regulate it, and then you make the best action based on who you are and responding in a respectful way. So being aware of that. Once you're aware of the feeling, you put the responsibility on you when it comes to your emotions, but on the next person, you have to let that go, but you take action for your well-being. So awareness, then you also have to see it as a lesson. I don't like to look at things as a regret. I like to look at things as a lesson and a blessing, because you definitely learn more about yourself. So in that learning about myself, it's been the best experience for me. It's been the best book, is to learn who I am and master myself. And so that is what, again, my life coaching is all about, is guiding and supporting you through the self-discovery journey, because it's a lot of answers that we don't have about ourselves because we're just not in that space. We're always in go mode, protecting mode, survival mode, to where we can't give ourselves the attention that we need to be grounded spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So being able to, just be thankful in those learning situations, and then also being able to take control and find a balance in understanding what you can control and letting go, and finding that balance. Finding the balance. So I encourage you all to embrace life, embrace everything that you go through, and know it's only there to make you stronger and to make you better and to make better decisions, because you get to learn who you are more. You get to learn who you are going through those different changes, and then you also get the opportunity to make better decisions the next time around. And even if you fall, even if you don't apply what you know because how you feel overpowers that sometime, you can still learn. You can still get past that time, because it will be a next time. I promise you. Until you get it right, it will be a next time. So believe me, so definitely, take control, embrace that power that you have to live the life that you want to live. Please do that. And that'll make the world a better place, because you're not under pressure, even though life is pressuring. But when you take that control of your life, even in those hard things, and you're operating in truth and integrity of who you are, then it just makes it better for you to cope when you're going through those different changes or challenges. So let's keep that in mind, and then just continue, to grow. Continue to grow, continue to love, and find a freedom. Because one thing about love, you can't force it. You want to grow. No one wants forced love. And you can't force, you can't force a piece that's not there. You have to really embody it. You have to really embrace it. And so being able to accept you, accept your feelings, accept all your flaws, all that come with you, and accepting someone else, having grace, having empathy, and then just being able to effectively communicate any boundaries that are needed, then we are on the road to moving on and growing and in peaceful ways. Let's just go ahead. What time is it? It is 7:30. I am going to wrap up tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you do, Keep watching, keep tuning in. I have a special announcement this week that I will be sharing with you all. Just remember, let me check over here, make sure I ain't missed anything. I don't think I did. All good. Okay. All right, so that is it for tonight for the power of acceptance, understanding control, and letting go. So remember, love can be unconditional. When you are in control and you truly know what love is, it can truly be unconditional. It is powerful, and it is freedom. Love is freedom. So let's make sure that we are being true to ourselves, because you know why? You are love. I am love. God is love. And we can change the world with love. So again, thank you for watching Ginger's Love. And I will see you all next time. Have a good night.